Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial on how to mount lines to your Nord bar. This works for a Nord bar, Nord Navigator bar, and a Navigator Pro, of course. So let's get started. We are going to mount the line system. I've disassembled everything, so you will have this part from your bar, from your old bar. You can also get a new part from the linesmith, of course, which is a small loop. Now you also have your safety line, which I didn't disassemble fully, but you can actually do that or place a new one, of course, because this loop will get worn and damaged over time. So make sure to have a safety line which is functioning and in order. Okay, now let's get started. We're gonna start with the lower section. We're gonna start with the line system. So you're gonna need one set, which is the upper section, the linesmith upper section front. Then you're gonna need the lower section for your front lines, which is the linesmith lower A1. And then you will also need the rear lines, which are the lines base rear. So this is the line system base rear, and this is going to replace your two rear lines, and this is going to replace your front lines. So let's get started with the lower section 1A and mount that to your bar. So open the package and unroll the lines. That's always step one, of course, unroll the lines. Make sure that you have enough space, so preferably don't do it indoors, usually do it outdoors, so you actually have the space and you don't get the lines tangled before you start. I'm making a video, so I can't move, but yeah, definitely, if you have the option, please do it outdoors. So when you are finished with unrolling the lines, you will have two loops and you will have to fit them inside of this area, this cup. So we can do it in two ways now. We're going to feed it in from the bottom or from the top. Now let's make it easy for ourselves and put it in from the top side. Just put it in. And the one which is closest to the hole here is going to be your safety line. And this is going to be then the other front line, which is locked with that small loop which you have. So that's inside as well. So both are in. Now we're gonna take the one that's not at the side of the safety line. We're gonna go with a small bit. We're gonna go over this loop. So we're gonna go over, and then you're gonna go inside of the line with the black end, and then just pull down. So it's actually in, as you can see, it's just in like this, and then pull down. Now that's locked. That's enough to lock the front line. And now we are going to take the other line, and now I would feed it in because the line is very stiff. Just feed it in all the way through the bar, through the hole. Just keep pushing until you reach the end where the chicken loop is. And when it jams, that's possible. It means the lines and the holes are not aligned right here, so you might have to rotate this head. Now, I was lucky, came out the other end, and then you just take your safety line and this one, and you're gonna go with this one, you're gonna go over the loop because you want to lock with this loop. You're gonna go over the line, and then you're gonna take your ring, you're gonna put it inside, and then just push it over until you have a loop-to-loop connection like that. So that's the loop-to-loop connection. Now just check by pulling up if everything fits through the hole and through your quick release, because that's very important. If it does, you're all good. You're all set with the lower section of your front lines. And then we're gonna open the next package, which is going to be the linesmith upper front, and we are gonna unroll that one. Now, if you're outdoors, make sure to put the line straight after after your front line lower section, which you just mounted to the bar. So just start at the loops which you have on the ground, and then just start unrolling this after that. So you're like 8 meters away from the bar. Okay, so now let me just unroll this. Until you reach the end. So you have the 2 loops here from your upper front section. Now let me take the other 2 from the lower section, which we're working with on the bar side. So now we have 2 which are coming from the bar, and 2 which are new ones, which are your upper sections. So it doesn't matter which one is which one, they are both on equal in length. So we're gonna take one of them. This is the lower section, and this is one of the front line sections, the upper. So you're gonna go over, and now watch this. You're gonna rotate this hole. So you're gonna go over, then rotate. So it's like a figure 8, and then you're gonna go with a new loop. So put this aside for a bit. So you're gonna go with a new loop. So you're gonna go over, rotate, and then you get a figure 8, and then you're gonna stick the end in that hole. So it's looped around twice, pretty much. So there we go. So it will look like that. So again, so you're gonna go over, rotate, and then you get a new hole, insert into that new hole, and it will look like this. So you have a slightly thicker knot in your front lines, and that will be your stopper knot. Now push the line inside of the loop, or take the other end of the line and pull the entire line through. So we're gonna do that until you reach the end. And then you just lock it. Let's see if we can get focus on that. I think we can. So there we go. There you're gonna lock it by pushing everything up, and make sure that you see a knot which looks like this, something similar, that it's at least a thicker knot, because that's gonna be your stopper knot. So this is the line end now, which is the end of the lines, and we are able to mount either new pigtails or or reuse your old pigtails. Okay, so now we're gonna do it the same with the other line, and we are going to go over, and then we're gonna go rotate, and then insert into that new hole. So it's a little bit of a work in progress always. So there we go. Okay, now we're gonna take the line. Let's see, this is the new line, so I need to put this one in. Okay, then it's gonna pull all the line through. Now I highly recommend not doing this indoors, because you will get loops and you will be able to get knots to that, but I was lucky today. So it will look like that knot, and then you just mount new pigtails to your front lines, and we're gonna get that. So this is the pigtail set. This is our special pigtail set for a Nord bar, so you actually have options to adjust the length. This is pigtail set number 7. You can also use a regular pigtail set with just one loop and one knot. So with the Nord bar, you will need on the front lines the knots. So you have 3 knots here, so you can actually reduce the amount of length on your front lines, so you can actually get that line shrinkage and get your line straight again. Okay, now we need 1 loop. So the loop from the safety line is here. There we're going to connect the red pigtail. We're going to go over. So like that, you're going to go over. And then you're going to go inside. So it will be like a loop-to-loop connection, same as you just did. And then you're done with 1 pigtail. Now let's search for the other front line, if I can find it, because I am making a mess, not like you guys, of course. And then we're gonna do the same with the green one. You go over and you go like that. Now you're done with your front lines. They are connected. Now you need the last package, which is going to be your steering lines or your rear lines, however you want to call them. So let's get started with those. And that's those 2. And that's the lines mid base rear, 22 meters. So just open a package and you're going to have a sleeve side. This is going to go to your bar side. So put those sleeves on the bar side and then those will connect to your pigtails, the 2 that you have left. So I'm going to unroll the lines. I'm going to place them far away so I don't make a bigger mess that I'm doing already. So just unroll your lines, start at the bar with the sleeve side and then unroll them. There we go, until you reach the end. Now I'm done with those. I'm gonna take the sleeved end, the sleeved side. I'm gonna start with red. So we have the red sleeve here, and we're gonna connect that to this part, which is already at the bar, which is your leader line with the red PU tubing. You're gonna go over and insert the line into the hole again. If you're outdoors, take the other line end, just insert it from the bottom or from the top or whatever you like and just walk the entire line through. It's much easier, much cleaner than what I'm doing right now. So just pull the entire line through until you reach the end. There we go. And then you take the pigtail. Then you have one side with a label on it, makes it easier to connect and disconnect. So we're gonna go over with the opposite side, of course, and then you're gonna feed that label in and you're done. Lock it. This one is done. Now take the other line. And that's gonna be the blue. And we are going to connect that to that leader line again. So over and insert, or take the other line end and pull it through all the way, which is much faster and much cleaner if you're outdoors, as mentioned. So much better to do it outside. Now I've done lines a long time, so I know what to do. But if you don't, and you get this mess, just make sure to make big loops. So it's not going to be a problem. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but just keep pulling until you reach the end. It's going to be a bigger mess than I thought today. All right, so now when you normally don't have this and you have the line end, I'm going to fix this later. When you have the line end, just take the line end, get the last pigtail, put it over, and then feed it in, and then until it locks. So then you're actually done with the lines and mounting new lines to your bar. The only thing that you have to do is go to the other video where you can see how to set and check the bar, because you might have to adjust a little bit on your lines because of line shrinkage or stretch, whatever, to the standard lines which are already on the bar. And you can actually do that right here by opening this part, and then some knots will come out. So check that other video out. This was the tutorial on the Nord bar on how to mount new lines. Check out the Linesmith for more information, and if you need lines, of course,